Hey, badass! Welcome to another episode of Confident AF Live. My name is Brandon Foster, and I am the author of Confident AF Unleash Your Inner Badass. If you have not already ordered your copy off Amazon, there's a link down below and the description of this podcast episode. Today, we are going to talk about overcoming overwhelm with co-creation. And this is something that I feel so many incredible business owners miss. And it's one of the tenets of my high level mastermind, Born to Slay. It's something that I love helping business owners with. And the reason why this is so incredibly powerful is there's many times as a business owner when you really feel like you are doing this all alone, especially as an entrepreneur, especially when you are the CEO, you are the main decision maker. Because whenever it comes to complaints, frustrations, making decisions, that always goes up. So when you are the person that it goes up to, where do you go from there? I believe that's one of the biggest reasons why so many business owners become overwhelmed so easily is that, yes, they might have some incredible team members that God has put around them to support them, to help them make decisions. But at the end of the day, when your team doesn't really have the answers or solutions, or when they're cloudy, they're murky, and at the end of the day, when it's your responsibility to make the decisions, when maybe it's a 50-50, that's when it really becomes overwhelming. And I also believe this is compounded by the own pressure that we as business owners put on ourselves to support our team, to help our team, to grow our team, to give our team leads if it's in sales, to give our team opportunities for more success, to provide new ways for our team to grow, to promote them, to pay them more. Like there's so many things as a business owner because of the responsibility that it's super easy to get overwhelmed in so many different ways. Not to mention the fact that you're doing all of this while you actually have a family, while you have a husband, a wife, a significant other. That just compounds everything else into you building your business. So I wanted to give you all just a taste of one of the biggest foundational cornerstones of my high level mastermind, Born to Slay, which is this idea of co-creation. Now, I first heard of this idea of co-creation from my friend Amanda Francis, who is a spiritual entrepreneur and has an amazing business. I'm an affiliate with her. She wrote she wrote a blurb for my book. And she's just an amazing person, amazing human being. And I first heard about the idea of co-creation from her, and going back and looking at some faith-based perspective, faith-based Bible verses, it was like a lot of things just started to make a lot more sense for me and inside of my business about why I was overwhelmed all the time, why I was stressed all the time, and why I wasn't letting things be easy inside of my business. So that's kind of how everything started. And then as I started to study it more, I think it was when I started to study it, by the time that I actually wrote the Born to Slay program, I think it was 2 years of like really studying all this stuff. But I mean, I had always been working and searching and doing whatever I could to better understand and reconcile my relationship with the divine God. I don't think that has ever stopped, minus for a period of time after I came out when I really felt like God just really hated me. And that's just me being super, super honest and transparent with all of you as listeners. And so when I created Born to Slay, I decided that co-creation had to be one of the biggest pieces inside of the program because I didn't feel like a lot of people were talking about it. And if people were talking about it, I didn't feel like they were offering a faith-based approach to it. And I just felt like, as I said earlier in this podcast, like it's just one of the biggest reasons why people feel overwhelmed. And I know for me personally, I always felt like I had to know all the answers in my business. I always felt like I had to have the solutions, always felt like I had to have the plan, always felt like I had to do everything. And it is just utterly emotionally exhausting. It's physically exhausting. It adds so much stress in so many different ways. And it wasn't until I started to practice co creation that the stress levels went down. Things became easier, things became more clear, things became more fun. And so we're going to share some of the basics of that. Again, I want to be really clear about this. This is just a taste. This podcast episode is going to be what, 20, 30 minutes max, tops, maybe even shorter than that. And inside of my high level mindset mastermind, there is hours devoted to co-creation, to helping people with their business. So this is just a taste. And I want to be clear about that. So there's 3 pieces that I believe business owners become overwhelmed the most with consistently. And this is after coaching thousands of entrepreneurs in group coaching, soon to be hundreds of people inside of my mindset mastermind, Born to Slay. And there's 3 pieces, again, where people tend to really get overwhelmed as an online business owner, as they grow and scale their business, when they want to increase sales, get higher level clients, and have bigger opportunities, bigger partnerships to continue their growth. The first piece is knowing where to go next inside of your business, like your vision. I see this happen all the time because when people start their business, it's like a great example is like in the travel professional world. It's like, I want to be earmarked. But then once they're earmarked, it's like, what's next? Like, I did it. Now what do I do? I know that for my husband, he had this thing where he was like, I want to be boss clown. I want to be headliner. And I want to maybe be in an act. He was headliner, boss clown, and he was in an act his last year on the circus. And then he was like, and now what do I do? And I feel like we always have those moments inside of our business where we had this goal for so long, or we've had this goal in our heart, and then we hit the goal, and then it's like, and now what do we do? Like, where's the next place we're sailing to? We've reached the destination. And then where do we go to from here? Where do we go to next? So that's a huge piece of overwhelm. And I see this with coaches when it comes to hitting certain sales figures, whether it's 6 figures, 20K a month, 30K, like whatever it is. Doesn't matter what this number is. It doesn't matter what the goal is. It's just like there's certain goals that we have in our life and our business. We hit it. And then it's like, now where are we rowing toward next? We don't know where we're going next. That's a big piece of overwhelm, because if you don't know where you're going, you can't create a plan, you can't act, and you have nothing that you're aiming or shooting for. So that can become very frustrating very fast. The second piece is knowing what to do and how to do it. So this is the plan and the action. So once you know this is where we're rowing, it's like, and what's the direction we're rowing? And what's the technique we're using to row there? In business, it's, okay, what is the plan to achieve that sales goal? What is the plan to create that opportunity? What is the plan to attract higher level clients? And how do we do that? What is the process? What is the step by step? The biggest thing for entrepreneurs is not knowing how. And the thing that at times really cracks me up is that we often try to figure out how we're going to do something by relying on practical solutions that others have done before us. And that is not a bad thing at all. In fact, I have used practical solutions from practical coaches to truly bless my business in amazing ways. And it's also very true that not every practical coach has a practical solution that is right for you and right for your business. And where I see a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners getting that wrong is that they go with the first practical coach or the first practical solution without ever like doing the divine gut instinct, asking God for guidance. Is this the right decision for me right now to go where I want to go next? Is this actually in alignment with what is truly best for me? Because part of co-creation is believing that God always has the right solution that's right for you at the right time, in the right order, in the right way, that is the easiest, quickest way possible. Like that's the whole premise and idea of co-creation, because God knows your business better than you. He knows your personality better than you. He knows where you want to go better than you. He knows what kind of clients are going to let you. Like he knows all this stuff because he created you and he put the desires in your business in your heart. So from a practical standpiece, that reasoning just makes a whole lot more sense. And I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs waste time, waste money, waste resources on practical pieces that are not right for them, or not in the right order, or not at the right time, that don't actually help them where they are in their business. And the biggest creation of doubt is I don't know how. And in fact, I think that's the biggest piece. And so many incredible faith-based people talk about this. Joyce Meyer talks about this. Steve Furtick talks about this. And even Amanda Francis talks about this, which is the how is not your responsibility. And it's the easiest way to lose your faith, to lose your path, to stop taking action when you're like, but I don't know how. Once you are okay with not knowing how, everything becomes a lot easier. And then you use co-creation to figure out what that next step is. So that's number 2. And the third one is once you have the vision, that's number 1. And once you have the plan and the action, that's number 2, part A and part B. Then the third part is being safe to actually do it. So if I was thinking about why so many business owners get stuck in their business, they always seem to think, or a lot of times they seem to think it's practical solutions, but it never really is the practical solutions, because there's so many practical solutions. There's so many YouTube videos. There's so many different ways to market, so many different ways to grow and scale a business. What I really find is that they haven't developed co-creation. They haven't developed trusting their own gut instinct, their own inner guidance mechanism. They haven't, the Holy Spirit, they haven't really developed that for their business. And that's why they don't know where to go. They don't have a plan. They don't know how to do it. And even if they know where they're going and they do have a plan, the third one is they're insecure and actually implementing it and actually doing it, which insecurity is always rooted in fear. So it's the fear of the action or the fear of what happens after the action, which could be how people are going to respond, how people are going to react, or what that result is if it doesn't work out. It's all based in fear. And so when you start to actually learn how to use co-creation inside of your business, the beauty of it is you don't have to know how, you don't have to have the plan. God does. You don't have to feel afraid to take the action, because God's going to take care of you. God's going to take care of it. You're going to be protected. You're going to be safe. You're safe to move forward. You're safe to do what you haven't done before. You're even safe if you make a mistake, because God's grace will fill in the gaps. You're safe even if people disagree with it, or people don't like it, or people do crazy things in response to it, because you're loved and adored. And God loves and adores you, and he wants you to help your business serve people and serve the world. And so it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be good. That is why co-creation is so incredibly important in your business. And if you haven't been using co-creation, the easiest, simplest way to start using it is to just take the challenges you're facing, the weird, wonky things that are happening in your business, and just write a letter to God. Just literally be like, okay, God, this is what's happening inside of my business. This is how I'm feeling about it. This is what I don't like about it. This is what I would love to happen inside of it. And then just be honest and be like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what to do. And I need your help. I'm willing to do my part. I'm willing to see things differently. I'm willing to take action. Please help me feel safe to take the action. Like literally just pouring your heart out in that way, in that manner, in a letter to God. And then just trusting that the way will be shown will be great. The only other piece of advice I would say after you do this small but incredible exercise is give space between when you're asking for help and when you're receiving it, because asking is speaking and active. Listening is also active, but you can't hear when you are talking. You can only hear when you are listening. And so if you want to know where to row, you want to know the technique and the route, and you want the courage, then you have to be listening to receive it inside of your business. So that is how to overcome overwhelm with co-creation with the 3 biggest pieces that create overwhelm in online business owners as they grow and scale their business. Let me know how this resonates with you in the comments. Be sure to share this with somebody else. And if you're interested in joining my high-level mindset mastermind, Born to Slay, all you have to do is click the link down below to apply. And don't forget, you can also order my book. All right. I love you all so much. Have an incredible day.